Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today with a video on Bhairava, okay? This is going to be a very interesting one because I'm going to be discussing with you how Bhairava became my heart chakra deity. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with this path working, we believe that each of our chakra points has a very specific energy, a frequency, an archetype associated with it. And it's really interesting when we can pinpoint which each of these are, so there's a nice flow internally with all of them. And I think choosing Bhairava as my heart chakra deity has been the most beneficial. And I'm going to reveal why. The first thing that I want to just say is Bhairava is not just an angry god, right? He's not just an angry deity. He is the disappointed guru within Shiva. Okay, so it's a part of Shiva. They got so annoyed at Brahma for, harnessing his ego that he cut off one of his heads and used Bhairava as almost a symbol of that. Once you know that he's the disappointed guru within Shiva, you know you have a disappointed guru within you too that's telling you when life has kind of gone off your path, right? You're not really doing what your mission is, your sacred soul mission is on earth anymore. You're just kind of doing whatever other people are telling you, or you're going based on what someone else told you. No, it's all about alignment, and it has been from day one for me. A very quick thing that we can all do with or without a guru is the sadhana, right? The cool thing about this practice of tapping into Bhairava's energy is burning away residual karma. So not only is it going to help you escape the karmic loops, but it is going to burn away any future or fresh karma that might incur. So that means you're doing this practice not just for this lifetime, but many lifetimes to come. Okay? That's why it's important. So a lot of people don't have a mala. You can just say his name over and over again if you don't have a mala, but I highly recommend you get a mala. Rudraksh is recommended, but you can do any mala, right? Anything with beads on it. The reason why I suggest this is because a mala stores energy. So the many times that you practice with a singular mala, in the long run, let's say that you get sick or you get let down or in general you don't have the energy, if you just put on the mala, it can become an energy reserve, right? The way that it remains positive, a positive tool for you that you can go back to, right? So apparently the deeper the concentration that you can keep in this process, the more karmas that you've removed. If there's a lot of distractions going on as you're practicing this, you got to understand that, wait a second, this is just my karma coming up, creating resistances, creating weird friction inside of me, but it's all gonna be sent back to source, right? We use the violet flame as well in our pathway. So send it back through the violet flame, back to source, return to sender, right? It's important to do that. So there's something called parachanting of your mantra. So it's like the residual effect that is left there when a mantra has its intention. So let's say that I'm sitting down and I'm going to do this mantra. Let's say it's Om Bhairava Nama, Om Bhairava Nama, Om Bhairava Nama, Om Bhairava Nama. Now I'm visualizing Bhairava in my heart space, coming in through my crown like white light, sitting in my heart space. And as I'm doing this, taking my mind away from any distracting thoughts that come up to try to take me away from my meditation, to take me away from my mantra chanting, right? So that's the whole purpose of the mantra, is like, it's a virtuous node that you have to keep coming back to kind of get rid of all the static and noise and get back into that melody. Right? Is this making sense? You're almost imprinting Bhairava in your heart. And as I started to do this more and more and more, he became my heart chakra deity because I started to see his name everywhere. I used to see black dogs everywhere. And now I'm dating Ellie, who has a black dog. And also, this energy was very prevalent in Kashi. So I actually went to Kashi, okay? I went to Varanasi, and I witnessed the energy of Bhairava there. And it was very powerful, okay? So how do you know that he's in your life? How do you know that this thing is actually taking on a process, right? The number one thing you will feel is no fear, like an inner protection that just resonates for you, okay? The things that terrified you one time, okay, graveyards, death, all these different things, or even the unknown, right? Fear dissolves into the stillness of that. Bhairava will remove anything that's toxic or distracting from your spiritual path, okay? So you will know that the negative shifts that you might be going through are actually positive benefits, okay? So it's like, sure, you lost a toxic person from your life and you kind of miss them, right? Oh, that's a good thing, actually, right? Let's give you a round of applause, right? For actually doing that, having the cojones, the guts, right? To actually do that. The next thing you'll feel is like gut warnings or intuition. So you'll get churns or whispers. Bhairava speaks through bodily intuition, okay? So this is kind of like his subtle signal to change course and avoid karmic traps. Bhairav will purge your suppressed past as well, as what I've noticed. So if you shout without knowing why, if you have a weird satori moment, if you start crying out of nowhere, right? These types of things, you will start to know these sudden emotional releases are actually a purging of your past life, okay? Through the now life. So you don't have to worry about that, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting depressed, I'm getting this. No, calm down. Everything will happen in due time. You're dissolving your past identity. You're also feeling sudden bliss without any cause, like random euphoria out of nowhere. That's probably Bhairava's energy, right? Because it's a taste of that Shiva consciousness that's unfiltered by desire. And during the sadhana, you might feel intense pressure or heat sometimes emerge. Because of course, you know, the pranic and mental nadis are being cleaned out. So that's just a byproduct of that, right? This kind of purification is actually important to enter that dhyan or that stillness, right? That meditation. And finally, of course, you have these flashes of awareness, right? Like lightning bolts or jolts of insight, like claircognizance, clairsentience, random moments like that, where even a flower can trigger a very elated, euphoric feeling. This energy is not for the faint-hearted, okay? It's gonna face you with your truth, your absolute truth. So it's not for pussies, okay? He's the remover of illusion, of time, of fear. So that means he's actually doing a spiritual audit in your life, correct? So for the beginners, just practice that mantra, okay? Om Bhairava Namah. And I believe there's some online, I can link it in the description too, which is just like 5 minutes. And you can do 5 minutes a day, right? It's basic. So, and for some people, when I say that, they're like gonna do it for hours. I know it, okay? So we're a bit cray-cray on here. So when you understand he is the fury of the Guru Tattva, when wisdom was betrayed by pride. So he doesn't burn just because he likes, you know, destruction, Bhairava. He does it to destroy illusions. So Mahakala is protective of the Primal Sutra path working, and he is absolute stillness, absolute 0 point. You can understand him like that, right? Mahakal is time. He's still, he's silent, he's a cosmic observer. That's why he works so well as a protective being, because he can be a watcher anywhere. And then he sends energy to my heart chakra, to Kalabhairava, who has the same infinite potential but is kissed by Shakti. Therefore, it means the stillness moves. Is this making sense, guys? Kalabhairava is Mahakala plus Adi Shakti, which is a conscious detonation. So Mahakal is like the Himalaya. Kalabhairava is like maybe a volcano underneath it. Mahakal is the void. Kalabhairava is the void becoming the voice. So Mahakal is the cosmic no. Kalabhairava is the cosmic go. You're here to incinerate what's been looping within you since lifetimes. I mean, Kalabhairava really showed me how twisted my goodness really was, right? He destroyed my illusions, that the things that I thought were actually serving me were taking me backwards. And I started to just spot them in my mind and drop them, release them, let them go. And this was not an easy process by any means, right? Because I had to let go of some people in my life, I had to let go of some old situations in my life. But at least moksha was birthing through my bones. At least I was burning away the karmic imprints. At least I was imprinting his energy in my heart space, okay? So what is residual karma? Residual karma is like the junk that is in your soul's attic, right? Bhairava just looks at that and says, let's end the loop. Okay, let's cut the cord. So once you actually also, I highly recommend that you build your root chakra, use Ganesha's energy to do that. Strengthen your foundation before starting this practice. You can do a lot of root chakra work and use Ganesha's, even the Gayatri mantra. But again, I said parachanting, right? So parachanting is like, I'm going to say Om Bhairava Namaha. That morphic resonance feels that's left behind. I don't even have to say it, right? And I think a level underneath that would be you just seeing the letters, right? And then a level beyond that would be just you saying it in your mind. And the first level would be just you chanting the mantra out loud, right? So it's not necessarily like, how are these yogis able to go so many times? Their chanting has become transcendental, right? So they're in the parachanting mode because that's on their mind always. Even if they're just getting a snack or something, right? Getting some food, they're still in that chanting mode. So you don't worship this being, you walk with them, right? They become like a silhouette behind you, protecting you. And if you think Kashi is just a place, it's not. It's a state of being. And he's the bouncer of the club. And once you experience ego death, okay, he's going to let you in. And what you will experience is not you losing your mind like you're going nuts, but you're losing that mental chatter that's been annoying you for so long. And you get to taste that primordial consciousness, that transcendental consciousness that will demolish all illusions inside you, okay? So this is Bhairava's energy. And how did you become my heart chakra guide? I kept practicing and practicing and practicing until I saw enough signs that proved to me that this was the right choice for me, okay? And I remember a long time ago, I was listening to Sadhguru chant one of his mantras, and it just really spoke to me. Makara, Bhairava, right? Even when people pass away or die in your life and you want them to have a smooth transition into the afterlife, it's really good to listen to that particular mantra. So if you're interested in that one, just let me know, shoot me a message, you know what I mean? Let's get it. Upward spiral. May we never be the same again. Thank you for listening. I just had to make a video today. I have a very busy day today, but I wanted to give you guys content. Let's get it. Upward spiral. Let's win. Boom.